Greetings. Today we are in part 2 of Concerning the Present Sufferings from 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 6 and 7. In verse 6, Peter uses the word temperance, Strong's Word 1466, and it means temperance or self-control. This is in 2 Peter 1:6 in his list of the steps to spiritual maturity in Christ. Luke used the same word to describe preaching to Felix in Acts 24:25, when it says, "And as he reasoned of righteousness, temperance," that is self-control, "and judgment to come, Felix trembled in answer, Go thy way, for this time, when I have a convenient season, I will call for thee." Galatians 5:23 lists temperance as the last of the 9 manifestations of the fruit of the Spirit. Meekness, temperance, it ends, against such there is no law. Now we need to understand there's a direct contrast given between the two extremes of emotion, rejoicing and grieving, and between the two lengths of time, a short season of time now and the implied future eternal rejoicing which is about to be stated. James said something similar about the present sufferings and God's design purpose in them in the book of James chapter 1 verses 2 through 4, where he said, "My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations." Account is the meaning of count. Account it all joy, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. The trying of your faith here is Strong's 1383. It means a testing or a trial concerning trustworthiness. And it's only used in James 1:3 and 1 Peter 1:7. James 4 goes on to say, "But let patience have her perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing." So let me ask you a question. How does one temper steel? A simple search will yield the following information. Quote, heat the entire piece of steel slowly at first, then concentrate the heat on the area that is to be hardened, such as a chisel point or screwdriver blade tip, until that area glows red hot. Quench the steel in a fluid. Dipping the hot steel into the liquid or gas rapidly cools it, hardening the metal, end quote. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, who are the called according to his purpose." And all things include the trials of this daily life, the present sufferings, if you please. So in light of Romans 8:28, the sufferings which God allows to come into our present life are for the purpose of making us stronger or hardening our metal. That's M-E-T-T-L-E, not M-E-T-A-L, as we spoke of in the illustration. Metal means a person's ability to cope well with difficulties or to face a demanding situation in a spirited and resilient way, end quote. Trials strengthen one's metal in the same way that fire strengthens metal. This is exactly the message which Peter proceeds to share in verse 7. In order that the approval after test to you, all of the faith being much more valuable thing than of gold, for the purpose of to be being strengthened by means of fire, but it should be found with respect to praise and honor and glory at the unveiling of Jesus Christ. This word, 1383, is derived from 1382, the proof, the trial, the experience, the experiment, appearing in 6 verses of the New Testament, and we'll read them as we conclude this segment. Romans 5:4, and patience, experience, and experience, hope. In 2 Corinthians 2:9, For to this end also did I write, that I might know the proof of you, whether you be obedient in all things. In 2 Corinthians 8:2, how that in a great trial of affliction, the abundance of their joy and their deep poverty abounded unto the riches of their liberality. Again, 2 Corinthians 9:13, whilst by the experiment of this ministration they glorify God for your professed subjection unto the gospel of Christ, and your liberal distribution unto them and unto all men. 2 Corinthians 13 and verse 3, seek ye a proof of Christ speaking in me, which is to you were not weak, but is mighty in you. And finally, Philippians 2:20, but you know the proof of him, that as a son with a father, he hath served me in the gospel.